going quickly already, isn't it? Welcome you along. If you're in the chat room, hello to you. If you're new to the channel, welcome along for your first little visit. It's a lot of fun. We talk a lot of different things, and hopefully over the next hour we'll get to know you a little bit better. If you're watching this on the replay, don't forget, comment down below and I'll answer you during the course of the week. If you're here and you're watching the live stream, well, there's lots of things we can talk about, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So I hope you're well. It's I'm checking here on my screen to see what's coming up, and lots of things. Wazza, hello, how are you? Good to see you in the chat room. It's been a funny old week. Tammy, hello, how are you? There's people in the chat room already. That's great. Always good to have people here. And what can we talk about today? Well, to be honest, when we had this last week, Kay, hello, how are you? When we were doing this last week, I was expecting a visit from my grandkids on Wednesday, but it didn't happen. And the reason it didn't happen was because the weather was so hot. They were coming from Kent to here, which is just over 100 miles. And so unfortunately, Deb's daughter didn't want to bring the kids in the extreme heat that we've been experiencing. And to be honest with you, we were going to phone her up and tell her not to bring them purely for exactly that same reason. So Chris Pomfret, hello. Good to have in the chat room. Who else is in there? Nick Stumps. Great to have you. Few getting in there already. If you're watching this on the outside of the chat room and you fancy having a chat with us, join in. You're more than welcome. Gordon Rachel, hello, how are you? I never know whether it's Rachel or Rachi. You will have to let me know, Gordon. What else do I know? Well, this week we had a few good community posts. Loads and loads of answers to them. I did a first one, which was about music eras. What music era was your favourites? We did a poll, and these are the results that we've got from that first week, from that first one. 50s and 60s, 17%, 17% loved the 50s and 60s as their favourite. 70s and 80s got 60%. 90s and the 2000s got 22%. And finally, 2010 to 2020, they got 2%, which was really how I expected, because I look at it this way. If you're around our age group, the same age as me, the 70s and the 80s was when I became a teenager and a young adult, all in those decades. So I was pleased to see that everybody, well, not everybody, 60%, over half, were actually going for that range. And there was some good, I love a good music chat, you know, and that was exactly what we had. Lots of albums were talked about, and it was really good to see. Hello, Deb, how are you? Good to see you in the room. In this week just gone by, Deb and OJ, which is Coffee Walks and Forever, it was their anniversary, their wedding anniversary last week. So happy anniversary. I hear you both forgot it. It was my wedding anniversary on the 3rd of July, and Deb's forgot it. But I didn't. I was a good boy. I remembered. Right, I did one of those short thought videos this week on something that just cropped up to me when I was listening to the radio in the morning. And it was the Sammy Davis Candyman thing, the one that got us all choked up. And I was amazed, you know, because I thought it was just me that was like that. I thought in my old age, I was becoming a sentimental old sod, if the truth be known. But I was shocked. There were loads and loads of replies to it. So it seems to be quite a universal thing that different songs make us all emotional. All of you that have replied to it, I've replied to all of them, and all of you that chose songs that I'd never heard of, this morning I went and played every single one of them, and I replied saying what I thought of each one. It was nothing bad. 10 different artists. This proves a point, because they say about new music. I once said that I could live the rest of my life without hearing any new music and find new to me music that was old from years gone by, and I could do that every day. Today I've listened to 11 songs that until this week I never even knew about. So I actually got to do that, and I'm just shocked, I'm just shocked that Deb has just told me that, not my Deb's, this is Deb, Coffee Walked and whatever, that it was their second anniversary. They forgot. 46 years. Congratulations to you. Steve Howes, hello, welcome to the chat room. It's a long time since we've seen you. Well, it's not that long, but we've missed you anyway, Steve. He's just moved home and he's had to put up with no internet. And you all know how hard that is for us these days. Welcome back to the room, Steve. Good to see you. And hope you're settling in. I hope everything's going to go for you all right, and that you'll like living in your new home. Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, before I just did my normal thing and went off on a tangent like I do, that these new songs to me, they range. Let me just run down some of these artists that had songs that I've never heard before. There was Steve Earle with 2, Phil Collins, Joan Baez, Judy Collins, Ian No, Sills and Crofts, 1 Meatloaf 1, Mannheim Steamroller, 5 for Fighting, and Miley Cyrus. The songs I wrote are here, and you know what? I'd never heard of them before. So it was great. It's really good for me to be able to go in and have a listen to a load of songs that actually make you emotional that I didn't know. There's so many records that I don't know. I sometimes think I know a lot, and then I realise that I don't at all. I've always said to Debs that she's a bit like me with music. She loves her music. And I think she is so knowledgeable about music. And I think that she knows more about music than I do. And what she has to remind me, so she says, is that she doesn't know more. She just knows different. And that's true for so many of us. Let me have a look, see what's going on in here. Steve, it looks like you've missed a lot over the last few weeks. Yeah, it happens. It happens. It's awful without internet, doesn't it? Isn't it? I was so... Do you remember the panic I had on back in February, I think it was now, when I thought I was going to lose my internet for 3 weeks? God, I was panicking then. Luckily, my next door neighbour helped me out. We were pretty fine with that. Samuel Hawkins, which one? You'll Be in My Heart. I didn't know it. Apparently, it's from the Tarzan film. I didn't know that song, so that was a completely new one to me. And it was quite nice, actually. Quite a good song. Let me get back over here, out of the sun. So, yeah. I've enjoyed the music chat this week. It's been real fun. And it's been real fun finding out that it's not just me that gets all upset and teary over things like that. Funny thing was, I talked about the Candyman, and it won the Oscar, did it? I didn't know that. I forgot what I was just about to say then. This is the problem with me. I read something in the chat and just lose complete thread of everything. It was some that was it. I remember what I was talking about. When I said that I got teary over Candyman, it wasn't that I was upset at all, because I love the song. And somebody put something in the comments which made me think about it more. And he may be right. There's a hint of innocence to it and childhood. Now, I was in my teens when the Willy Wonka film came out, and I didn't actually see it until the 2000s, early in the 2000s. I'd never seen it before. I hadn't been that interested in it, so I didn't know the film. And the one thing I did know was the song. The screen is mirrored. Hi, John. Welcome to the room. The reason the screen is mirrored is because something happened in an update on I'm using my phone. I used to use a camera to do this, but when I used the camera, it kept overheating. And so while the weather's like this, and until I can get round to getting myself a webcam that's not going to overheat, I'm using my phone. When the phone updated once, everything changed and it mirrored it. It only does it on live stream. If I film a normal video with this side of the phone, it comes out fine. I can't find out what it is. I've asked all sorts of questions about it. I've gone through all the manuals and the tutorials. And for some reason, if I vlog with my phone, then that's what happens. At some stage, I will find a webcam. Actually, I think I've found a webcam. I'm just trying to find the money to buy the new webcam, which will help me. But we'll get there in a minute. Where am I? I'm just... The reason I'm looking over there is that is where my chat room is. That's the one. Choose a song that always reminds time at school. Kites, Simon Dupree and the Big Sound. I do remember it very well, Steve. Yeah, I do remember it very well. It's not a bad song. I heard it recently as well. I've got it on a CD, a compilation CD somewhere. So I know I've heard it in the last couple of weeks. Great record. I always liked it. What else is being asked of me? What is the silver disc in the back? This silver disc, it isn't really a silver disc, it's a print. But what it was, when I was 60, my friends bought me it. My best friend and his wife bought me it. And it's an award. It says an award, and the song is "To Be Loved" by Jackie Wilson, which is my all-time favorite song. And that is the Jackie Wilson Greatest Hits album. It's only printed, but I love it anyway. I love it because they give it to me, obviously, and it is my favorite song, and that's why it sits on my wall, and it's sat there since I was 60. Ooh, nearly 6 years. 6 years in a couple of weeks. Well, there you go. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? It was a really nice, thoughtful thing. I did wonder, because about 3 to 4 days, well, no, probably it was a week, maybe a bit longer even. My best friend's wife phoned me up and she went, "James, what's your favourite song?" And I told her, and I went, "What do you want to know that for then?" And she went, "I was just wondering," which is a really odd thing. And then on my 60th birthday, this turned up in the post, and I love it dearly, and it sits on my wall, and I'm very happy with it. Wazzy, you had a 50th Hollywood star for you, did you? Ooh, very nice. Steve, you're right. Yeah, it has got a gong in it. He's talking about Kites by Simon Dupree. yeah, so that's that's about it for that part of the live stream. What else can I tell you? I did a video this morning. It's about a health update. I haven't done one for a long time, and there's been a few changes over the last couple of weeks. So I thought I'd do a video to sort of update on the last one that I did back in April. I won't tell you what's in it because then you won't watch it, and then you know. So yeah, that's for Wednesday. I've been watching a few films this week. Last week, I think I'd watched 5 this month so far, and up to now, I've now watched 10. I'm going to film what I'm doing with the what I watched in March video. In March, that was when I started it. What I watched, the what I watched in July video, I'm actually filming it every time I've watched 5 films. Because to be honest with you, when I first done that one in March, I got to the end and I was trying to think what I remembered about each film. And to be honest, there were so many I couldn't remember. So what I've done since then is when I do 5 or 6 films, I'll record those 5 and then and then I put them all together at the end. You know what I mean? You've got a bit of catching up to do. Yeah, Steve. Steve, something. It's a small world, this is, you know. Hi, Nettie. How are you? Welcome to the room. Good to have you back. It's a small world that we live in. And the reason I say this, many of you who are in the chat room will know that Steve Vowles and I went to school together. And we were often chatting about things from way back when. And I actually went back to the town, Burnham-on-Sea. It must be 4 or 5 years ago, you know. And we met up and got together only for a short while because I had to go from there down to Bude. But we got together and meet. Anyway, this week I did the video that was about the Sammy Davis song that I was just talking about. And somebody called John 1889 got in touch with me, and he said, he talked about the music, obviously, and then he said, I used to go in your mum and dad's amusement arcade in the late 60s at Burnham-on-Sea. How about that? And it turns out that he comes from West Huntsville, which isn't that far away from Burnham-on-Sea. It was great seeing you as all, Steve. We'll have to do it again at some stage. I'll have to make the trip down there. It's funny, you know. It's something funny. Does this happen for you? I know I'm going off on a tangent again, but I just wanted to just talk about this. Has this happened for you? When I was a kid and we were at Burnham-on-Sea, my dad had 2 amusement arcades when we were at Burnham. One was on the seafront, and it built up on scaffolding over the beach, and it was about 150 to 200 foot long, and they used to have to put scaffolding up and build the arcade onto that. And that was it was great. I was only a little boy at the time. We moved to Burnham when I was 4, and we were on the seafront till the end of the summer. Then the council decided they wouldn't renew the lease, and so my dad ended up with another arcade on one of the holiday camps in Burnham-on-Sea. So we were there we moved there in 64. We left at the end of 1976. So really, I grew up there. And it's funny, when I got to about 15, I wanted to see the bigger world. I felt hemmed in, and I wanted to get away and see what's going on elsewhere. And of course, we did that at the end of 1976. My dad sold his house and we moved to Weymouth. And then we went on from there. Anyway, as I've got older, it's like looking back through rose tinted glasses, because when I talk about Burnham on Sea now, I see it so fondly. I have so many good memories there that at the time you don't realise they're good memories. I was just growing up. I was impatient to see the world if the truth was known, and I wanted to get out and get everywhere else. But funny, it's really funny. I think about Burnham a lot now, and I've talked with Steve about this from time to time. And when I came back and we met Steve, I was actually there for a funeral. When we were there used to be donkeys on the beach of Burnham. And the guy who ran the donkeys were friends of my mum and dad. They got to know him, and we grew up and got to know them as well. And so I came back for his funeral. And I took Debs with me, and we spent a night in a hotel just outside Burnham. But we went back into Burnham and we did a walking up through the town and past the flat that we had when I first moved there, past the picture house and all those sorts of things. We walked up to the church where my sister got married, and we were having this conversation. And I think I realised then how much I actually loved Burnham. I really enjoyed. I liked going back there, and it was so nice to do it. Then the next morning, before we met with Steve, we had a drive round. We drove further up the road, going towards Barrow, where our house was, and then we went down to the holiday camp and had a look around the holiday camp, which has changed so much from when we were there, and it brought back so many memories. It was lovely. I really enjoyed going there, and I want to go back again. I think we didn't spend long enough there. We were there like I'd gone to a funeral in the afternoon, so we were there for the evening, and then we got up in the next morning and I met Steve, and then by about 12 o'clock that day we had to leave to get down to Bude for a birthday party that evening. So it was a short stay, but I'd really love to go back and spend a bit longer there, and that's something that I think at some time we'll do. And Steve remembers the overhanging. The thing about the amusement arcade, and I'm sure Steve probably did this as well, as kids, it was built on scaffolding and it was an all wood floor. And so where the wood was put together, there were little gaps. And as a kid, I can remember going underneath the arcade and searching the sand to see if any old pennies had dropped through the floor where they'd been on the machine, and they might have dropped her and it might have gone down through the gap. And loads of us kids used to do that, and we'd go under and we'd search under the arcade to see if we could find any pennies. Most people would take the pennies and go in our arcade and spend the money, and I'd go to the cafe next door and buy an ice cream. Right, let me just check up and see what you guys have been up to. If you want, just chat amongst yourself while I just have a look over here, all right? Nettie, your aunt lived in Burnham and West Huntsville, Cheddar. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? I've got generals and majors, James. Oh, welcome to the chat room, by the way. I missed you when you came in. It's true, you don't appreciate something until it's gone. It is. It's not only is it a part of my life, Steve, it's the formative part of my life, I suppose, because up until, I don't know, 4, you'd sort of don't really know a lot, do you? But from 4 onwards, did I go to the infant school with you as well, Steve? I can't remember now, but I went to the infant school there. I learnt to tap dance and ballet dance at Burnham on Sea when I was a kid. I went and did that. I did it for a while. And they used to have a festival called the Highbridge Festival, right? And I danced in the Highbridge Festival with a girl called Julie Parsons. And we won prizes. Well, we didn't get prizes. We won certificates for our modern dance because apparently we were quite good. And as another thing that we did, right? I'm on one now. I'm on one of my going back to the past days. And we used to have these ballet dancing and tap dancing lessons in a place called the Princess Theatre. And during the summer, we'd have a summer season thing. And we used to have to do a show. We used to do a show for the holiday makers during the course of the summer. And I can always remember I was on the stage and I was the announcer, if you like, and I had to sing this song. And I'll never forget it. You know, in Mary Poppins, it's have a jolly, whatever it is with Mary. I can't think of the words for it. But I had to get on the stage and I sang this song, right? I sang this song called Have a Jolly Holiday at Burnham. Burnham makes your heart feel gay. Oh, a great song. I can remember it now. I can remember standing on the stage and singing away like I was and doing a little tap dance. I was a bit Fred Astaire. I bet you're wanting to know why I decided to go ballet dancing and tap dancing. Well, the truth can be told today. I will tell you. I was 11 when I started doing that. And the reason I started doing it, because there was a girl that I liked. Her name was Babette Hunt. Oh, when you think back, eh? I just wanted to get to know Babette Hunt. Her dad owned the garage at the bottom of Love Lane. It's silly, I know, but these are the stories, you know. These are the stories of your life, or mine anyway, and I enjoy telling them. But yeah, that was it. Nettie, if you're talking about the concrete swimming pool on the beach of Burnham, which one are you talking about? Because at one end there was a little paddling pool thing, and up the other end where the jetty is, there used to be a thing called Marine Lake, and that at one time was a swimming pool. And yeah, I remember it because it was right behind our arcade. But by that stage, it had become decrepit. Right, let me go back to this room again. Let me see who we got here now. Nick. Wow, I didn't know Sam Neill had died. He was great. I talk about a film that he's in a lot, The Dish. I loved the film The Dish. He's in that. Kay, you'd buy a ticket to see me dance? I'm not sure you'd get much value for your money. I don't think I enjoyed it. I have to say, I did enjoy it. I think I did it for about 2 years, and I have to say, the one thing I did learn then was how hard ballet is. Training and doing the training on ballet is really, really hard. It was never easy. It was always fun though. I'm glad you'd buy a ticket to see me dance, Kay. I might have a little shuffle in here one day. In fact, there is a video on the channel somewhere, I can't remember where, but there is a video on the channel that has me dancing on it. What happened to Babette? I really don't know. I don't know. We drifted apart. She never loved me. I can tell you that much. I can remember asking her out and her saying no, which heartbroke me. It took me probably 2 years to do it, and that's probably why I left the dancing. If anybody knows Babette Hunt, ask her. Do you remember her, Steve? It used to fill up with the tide, eventually come in. That could have been either of them, Nettie. I know if you're watching this and wondering what I'm talking about, if you're watching this on the replay and you're thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Well, I'm kind of doing my normal thing. I wander like that and just talk about whatever I see. I see something and I just have to talk about it. Everybody has had a Babette in their past. What did she look like? Well, I thought she was in school with us, Steve. I don't know where I'd have met her otherwise. I thought she went to school with us. Well, we were, I don't know, 9 and 10 and 11. And I'm sure she was at school with us. And she was the same kind of height as us. And she had long not auburn, bit darker than auburn. I'm gonna have to see if I can find out whatever happened to her. Her dad owned the garage in Love Lane. That's it. I may have met her through that because my dad used to know him, and so I may have met her through my dad. Who should know? Who should know? I thought she looked lovely, but then again, I was only young. She was one of my first crushes. Around the time that I saw Emma Peel and found that, Emma Peel was my kind. What else we got? Did you, was that? I think we all did, my old mate. I'm sure we all did. Let me see who else is on here. No, we never found a rock lobster instead of money, James. You didn't see too many lobsters in Burnham-on-Sea. If you're at all interested, and I've piqued your interest rather, there is a video on my channel that actually has film of the arcade in 1969 and the 60s. And it's there. You'll find film of me when I was about 7 or 8 in that thing. It's on there somewhere. And if you just want to search for it, go on my homepage, look at all my older videos, and you'll see one with a big long yellow arcade as the thumbnail, and it's on there. So if I've piqued your interest into having a look to see what it was like back in the 60s, then there's definitely a film on my channel about it. It's not very long. It's only about 3-4 minutes, but it's worth having a look. Let me see. What was the name of the garage in Love Lane? I really don't know. I can't remember. I have a vision, Steve, that it had a roundabout in front of it. It was on like a bit of road like that. I may be wrong. I may be thinking of somewhere else. But her dad owned the garage. So could it have been Hunt's garage? I don't know. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. So yeah, but it was really funny to me that besides the fact I've known Steve for well over 50 years, to have someone else come on the channel who perhaps watched one of the other videos. He commented on one of my videos this week, and to find out he used to go in my mum and dad's arcade. It's a small world, isn't it, when you think about it? What else do I want to talk about? Something that I saw today, right? I saw a letter. I don't know where I got that from. I saw a video today in which they talked about the end of reading is here. Hello, the story of people 1305. It is a small world after all. Welcome to the chat room. It's nice to have you here. Everybody, we have someone new in the chat room. Give him a nice warm welcome if you would. Be lovely to hear that. Yes, getting back to where I was. This person was talking about reading and how it's coming to the end of it and how less people do it than used to. And they were talking about books in America, and there's been a sharp decline in reading of books in America in US adults. Since 2022, that has gone down 48.5%. Now, I would say that if it's like that in America, it's probably the same here as well. Hi, Dave. Welcome to the chat room. Do you know what? I forgot to set a question for today. Totally forgot about it. So I'm going to make this the question of the day. Do you still read books? Is reading books your thing? Welcome, 1:05. Brilliant, Chris. Love that. Hi, Cosmo. Welcome into the room. Good to have you with us. Yeah, do you still read books? Because I am just an avid book reader. I am at the minute reading this. I know it's going to be backwards to you, but I would tell you it's the girl who kicked the hornet's nest. It's the third of a trilogy of books. I'm nearly at the end of it. The first one was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. The second one was The Girl Who Played with Fire. And then this is the third one. I've been reading this just a little while, as you can see. I love a book. I'm not so good with Kindles and things like that, but I do love a book. Although I've just finally got round to joining our local library. We've only lived here 13 years and I've never joined it. And that's because I've always got books. We're buying books all of the time. And they gave us some apps that we could download, and they do audio books as well. And I've never read an audio book because I like books so much. Let me see. Can't be the smell of holding a book. It's so true. Anyway, what I was going to say is I am reading this at the minute, but I'm also reading this at the same time. That's a weird book you say, isn't it? This book is called The Art of Noticing. And I've read it before, and it's great because it's got loads of exercises in it to help you get to knowing, to exercising things. Do you know what I mean? Hi, Chell. Welcome into the room. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're a bit late. You don't have to be here. I'm more than happy that you're here. Yeah, so I read quite a bit. I've been a big reader for years, and it's really nice to see that a lot of you are as well. Your eyes bother you. That's a shame, Deb. I love to read. I have talking about that dragon tattoo and that they're called the Millennium Trilogy. I have got them on DVD, all 3 films, and they're superb. They did an English version of it, of the first one, with Daniel Craig in it. But sad to say, I think that the Swedish films are much better, but the books are much better than the films because you can get into the story and get engrossed, and I do love those. And yeah, so my question of the day, I suppose, is, are you still a reader? Do you still read? If you do, if you're watching it now, maybe it's not going to be so easy because it will fly up the screen and I'll miss it. But if you're watching on the replay, go below. You know the thing down there. Let me know. Do you still read? And what sort of books do you read? I'm always interested to know. And I would love to see if someone's done a survey that says about how many people are reading in the UK. Because I think if it's dropped in America, I'm pretty sure it's probably dropped worldwide these days. But for me, I love a book, always have done, and still try to. My mum, I talk about my mum a lot, I know. When we were in the arcade, before we were in the arcade at Burnham, my mum taught me to read. She said that I was reading at 3. I don't know if that's true, but she said I could read at 3. She started giving me little books and things to read. She taught me about money when I was in the arcade at Burnham. but I'm sure I've told you about that before. So yeah, books. I do love a good book. Let me just have a look up here. The Aussie audio books are fun. I might have to. I'm going to have to try this app thing. It's called Libby. I don't know if you've got it in the UK or America or whatever. It's called Libby, and I kind of think I'll have a go at some books. The Ozzy Osbourne books sound like fun to do. If he's reading them, I would imagine that's quite fun. Let me have a look further up the list. What else have we got? Nettie's an avid reader. The Story of People 1305. Can I call you 1305? Or would you like to tell me your name and I'll call you that instead? You read all kinds of books, science fiction, adult, etc. Yep. Glad to hear it. Kay, I think it's great that your grandson always asks for books. That's brilliant. It's great to see that people are still... Is it Cosmo? I did not know that. Ah, right. It's the UK library one. Anyway, apparently they do audio books as well, and I'm just starting to get used to that. Chris, I know that Amazon have just sabotaged the old Kindles because Debs has one. And she was saying, hi, Jim. Good to meet you. It's much easier to call you Jim. Debs is in the same boat as you are, but she still has a lot of books that she downloaded before time. And I think she said she's tried it since and can still get to them. So that'll be the case. I don't know if she'll buy another Kindle because, like me, she reads proper books too and likes them. So we're both that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure if you've watched my videos, you'll know that there's a bookcase that sits behind me full of books. We've also got a bookcase in our bedroom, and there is also a bookcase downstairs in the living room. It would be lovely if we could get them all together, but we don't have a long enough stretch of wall to put all of the books together. Right? It'd be great. I'd like a little reading room. That would be nice. How Amazon sabotaged the Kindle? Right. If you've got an older Kindle, they haven't really sabotaged it. It's just if you've got an old one, they've stopped servicing it, and there will be no more books going to Kindle. They've basically, like Windows do every now and again, they dump one of their old series of Windows and you can't really use it and be safe with it anymore. Kindle, they've just finished service for it. Basically, you can buy books for the Kindle, but you won't be able to download them on the older ones. So I think it's just Amazon's way of getting some more money out of you and getting you to buy a new Kindle. That's what I would imagine. I think it's a downright dirty thing to do, because I think it's unfair that if you've got an account and you've paid for books or you've bought books, that you won't be able to use them if you haven't. Well, if you've downloaded them, it's fine. But if you bought them and haven't yet downloaded them, it kind of feels unfair. And it also feels unfair that they're forcing you into buying another Kindle when the one that you've got is still working. You know what I mean? Nettie, I prefer paper books as well. I love finding a new bookshop. I absolutely love it, especially a second-hand one. We used to go to Felixstowe, and at Felixstowe in the town, there was a second-hand bookshop that it was like the TARDIS, if you like. It had a little shop front on it, and you'd go in the little shop front, and you'd go out, and you'd go back and back and back and back, and they must have had millions of books. And then you could go upstairs in it as well, and they had so many books. And when we used to go to Felixstowe, it was one of those shops that we definitely had to call in. Sadly, though, after the lockdown of COVID, they could no longer afford to keep the shop going, and so the shop closed. They do still, however, have an online shop, so you can buy the books online and have them sent to you. But there's nothing like walking through a shop and having a look at the books as you go through and finding something that you hadn't even thought about. Do you know what I mean? I love Love that. I like Waterstone's bookshops. There's one in Cambridge that's really good. I think it's on 3 floors. A great big shop, and that's good. We're very lucky here because with Cambridge being a university city, there's a lot of bookshops around, and I think that's great. The Osterley, I remember the Osterley station. What was you doing down there then, Chris? Did you work round that way? The Osterley bookshop in the old tube station. Yep, been through there loads of times. Never been in the bookshop though. How about that? And Nettie used to work in Waterstones. How cool was? What kind of job is that? Do you know when you talk about jobs that you think about you'd be good at or that you'd like to do? Had I not been of the self-employed nature of the person that I am, if I'd had to look for a job and there was a job that I was going to look for, I think a library would have been great. I could have worked in a library. I thought that would have been a job that was really, really good. Oh, right. How long was you there for then, Chris? Because the Osterley, I used to live in Ashford, which is not that far away from there. So I used to know that way. Why wasn't it your dream job, Nettie? Didn't they let you read the books? Did you not get enough discount? I would have wanted a huge amount of discount to keep buying. But we have got to the stage though. A dancing librarian, there you go. I could have twirled down the aisles, couldn't I? I could have been like Hugh Grant in Notting Hill. I could have seen me in there. Because there you go. There's a link for you. My link with Hugh Grant. He had a bookshop in the film. I would have liked to have worked in a bookshop library. You know what I mean? And the second link, of course, is that in Love Actually, he dances, doesn't he? He dances across and down the stairs and all that kind of thing. And I said at the time, Hugh Grant dances just like me. So there is a link between me and Hugh Grant. However, and I hasten to add this, I've never met anybody called Divine Brown. Just wanted to put that out there so that you knew. This has been a fun little evening, hasn't it? So yeah, bookshops, that was fun too. So we got about 10 minutes left. Oh, right. I wonder what you was doing down that way. When you know, you know. Indeed. Okay. You bring out the devil in me. Which you shouldn't do, by the way. So we've got to the end of everything that I've got written down. Is there anything you guys would like to chat about? I'm trying to think now, I haven't got a video sorted for the weekend yet. As I said, there's one done for Wednesday. That's a update, if you like. It may be not of interest to anyone who's not been around very long and doesn't know me very well, because you won't have known the situation before. However, if you're still interested, when it does go up, at the end of the video, I've put a little link to the other health videos that I started doing in March to explain what's going on. Let me think. What else can we talk about? Yeah, I haven't got a video for the weekend yet. Will we beat Argentina? Here's hoping. That's what I say. Here's hoping. But I gotta say, the way we played against Norway, it's going to be hard. What else can we talk about? Yeah. Joe, you've just applied for a job at your library. Oh, that'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. Let us know if you get it. That would be so cool. Would be jealous. Debs would as well, because we were talking about this just the other day, and she said that if she could have got a job and had a choice of a job. We've got a library, right? in the village where I live, the library's just been redecorated and it's really nice now. And it's only about 5 minutes walk down that way. And Deb said she'd like a job in there, but unfortunately, being we're only a village, the library doesn't open every day. I think it opens Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So it's only like it's not a full-time one, so it wouldn't be a good enough job for her anyway. But I did tell her and ask it to apply for it. But apparently, if you get a job in that library, you have to go to another village for the other days because that village has a library, so that you kind of share the job in two places. But Debs doesn't drive, so it'd be awkward getting there. What else? What else have we got to talk about? What to read next? I don't know what I'm going to read next. I probably Debs. You know, we talked about secondhand books and just buying them from like secondhand shops. Obviously, Debs bought a whole load of the Morse books. I think she bought about 16 or 17 of them. Many of which, of course, we'll have seen because we've got the Morse DVD box set. Jonathan, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Good to see you back in the room. How is the weather in Plymouth, by the way? You have 3 minutes, 3 books on the go. No, I've got 2. I did used to have 3 because what I used to do is keep 1 in my bedroom, 1 in here, and 1 down in the living room. But I spend so little time in the living room that it was a bit pointless. And what else? What was that? I'm trying to catch up. I know I should tell you this. You know, if I go blank for a couple of minutes and I'm just kind of staring into space, it's not because I am. Basically, what I'm trying to do is check out the chat room up here and see if I fell behind. And I'm trying to catch everybody up. Yeah, I've got no music video. I've got... Perhaps there'll be another short thought one, because since I started doing these thingamajiggies, I scribble stuff down, you know, that would have passed away from my memory in minutes. And then I'll flick back through it as I do. And when I'm flicking back through it, I'll see something and go, oh, I can make a video about that. And that's where these little 3-minute videos have been coming from. And I don't know if you like them or not. It's just something that is a bit different for what I normally do. They never have no rhyme or reason. It's just because I thought about something and thought to myself, oh, I'll make a little video about that. It's just the way I am. Trying to find you something so you don't get too bored. That's what it is. I've got plans for other videos. I've got something on the ball and back burner that I hope in the not too distant future we can unravel and start doing. As you know, I've talked a lot about vlogs, and I would like to do a bit of vlogging alongside the stuff that I do now. I watch a lot of other people doing vlogs and they look fun to do. It gets you, also it'll get you out of this one room that I seem to spend most of my life in. Yeah, there's lots of things that I said at the beginning of this year that I was stopping listening to all the YouTube gurus and doing all the things that you're supposed to do. Mainly because I don't like doing them. And secondly, because depending on the amount of gurus that you listen to, it can feel like idea of the week. Because one will tell you one thing and one will tell you another, and so will tell you should do this and so and so. And do you know what? I got fed up with it. I got fed up with trying to keep up with everything and trying to make videos the way they said you should. And it stopped being fun for a while last year. And so I decided that this year I was going to do it the way I wanted to do it. I thought to myself, I'm going to do videos about what I want to do. I'm going to talk about stuff that I want to do. If I feel like doing a certain type of video, I will do it. And I've given up worrying about the algorithm and trying to do that sort of thing. I just do my own thing now. And it can't be working too badly because the channel doubled in size from January to May. So that means that probably following the algorithm and trying to chase views and all that sort of stuff wasn't right for me. But I like doing videos the way I do, and that's going to continue. But what it does mean is that you might watch a video, you might see that I've put a video up and think, whatever's this? This is different to the normal stuff he does. And it'll be because the idea came to me and I thought, why not? Earlier on in the year, I did one video, which was a lot of work. I did a top 10 of a certain date, but the 10 songs came from different years. It took a load of time to do, but not many people watched it. It didn't interest a lot of people. So I figured for the amount of work that it was, I wouldn't do another one, so I didn't. And it can sometimes be, that I'll be doing a video and it'll be like chucking spaghetti at a wall and seeing if it will stick and not slide down. And I suppose these short thought videos that I've started are a bit like that. The first one didn't get a ton of views. It didn't seem like anybody watched, but I thought, I don't care, let's try another one. And I did another one and that did a little bit better. And then I did another one and that did okay. And so I kind of enjoy doing them, mainly because they're very quick to do. Because I basically get this idea, think about, oh, that's a big good idea. I just chat about this for 2 minutes. And so I do, and I chat about it for a couple of minutes. It's over and done. There's no real plan goes into it. I write it in there and think to myself, oh, that Candyman thing comes from laying in bed the other morning, listening to the radio, and Candyman come on here. And I pulled this out of the little cupboard that I put it in my bedroom and wrote about it and wrote what I thought about the Candyman and the song and why I got choked in it. And then after I'd done that, later in the day, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if anyone else is like me. So I made the video and that's how it came about. And those kinds of videos are really enjoyable to do. They're fun to do. And they're just a little bit different. I would have never have done a long video of 10 minutes or something about that, or about the notebook pads themselves. But you know what? Sometimes you just do these things and have a bit of fun with it and see how it goes. And that's what I'll be continuing to do through the course of this year. I'll implement a few different things. I'll try something different. There'll be, hopefully, a bit more fun. There'll be a bit more like this, a bit more laid back. I like the laid back feel of the live stream, as you know, because I tell you often enough. The live stream is my favourite part of the week, full stop. I love this. I love chatting to you guys. You come in the chat room, you talk about something, and we go off on a tangent, and I absolutely love that. And I love the feel of it, that I'm not trying to... I never try and teach, because I'm not a teacher. But I love the fact that doing something like this is much more fun than sitting here facing that wall, which is where I make the other videos, by the way. Talking through the videos that I do. Don't get me wrong, I love them. I love them videos. But I like also this freedom that I get of chatting to you like we're in a pub or in a cafe or in someone's living room and we're just chatting like this. Because I think this is so much fun. And as Mondays are my favourite night for anything that I do on YouTube, I'm kind of thinking that maybe perhaps I can do videos that have the same kind of feel to them. More of a chat, like we're sitting in a cafe and I'll come up to you and I'll say, You're never going to believe what happened to me the other day. And I will go into the story and we'll take it from there. And I've got a feeling that I'm going to be going that way. And my hope is that you're all going to enjoy them. That's the truth of the matter. Steve, I've just seen your post about the Benny Hill videos. I'll have a think on that one. And yes, Tammy, that's exactly how it should be. So instead of me being, I don't know, the person James is when he does them other videos, I would like to feel that the channel becomes more like the James that does the live streams, if that makes sense. And it would certainly be more fun for me. And, you know, we'll take it from there and see how it goes. Anyway, our time is up. My dinner is downstairs. And by the way, in just in case you want to know, it's a quiche and a bit of salad. That's what I fancied, and that's what we're doing. And so that's it from me. Till next week. Have a good week, won't you? As I said, there's a video out ready to come out on Wednesday. I'm sure I'll figure out something else to do between now and then. And, oh, you've got curry. Very nice. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's been great fun, as always. And I will see you all very soon. Ta-da now.